Good afternoon and welcome to the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers Virtual College Fair. Today's fair is in a webinar format, so our presenters cannot see you nor can they hear you, but they would certainly love to hear your questions. You can do that by asking those questions using the Q&A button you find at the bottom of your screen, and you can certainly ask those questions at any time. There are more sessions available, so please do sign up for additional sessions. If not today, in the future, there is another fair coming up later this spring. And if you missed a session or want to go back and review anything our presenters have to say, you may do that by going to strivescan.com/Carolinas. At this point, I would like to turn this over to the real stars of our show and our first presenter, Loyola University, Maryland.
All right. Thank you, Julie. And hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm here to present on Loyola University, Maryland, and we're a Jesuit Catholic liberal arts university located in Baltimore, Maryland. And what I really love about Loyola is both the individual nature of the education, but offering most of the things that you would expect or want from a bigger school. I really like Loyola's geographic location in terms of kind of having that campus-based traditional college feel centered around a quad, but still having access to a big city. We are a liberal arts school and we are on the smaller side. We have just under 4,000 total undergrads, but I love that you get both access to the campus and a large city like Baltimore. And then lastly, I like Loyola because it really lets you live your experience as well. It is really campus-based. 82% of our students choose to live on campus all 4 years, even though it's not a requirement. And I think looking at these pictures, you can get a sense of why that is. We're nicknamed the Evergreen Campus. One of our colors is green. We're gray and green. Go Greyhounds, that's our mascot. But obviously, the campus is very pretty as well. Princeton Review rates our dorms 10th best in the country. They're very large apartment style dorms. And so again, most of our students choose to live on campus. So there really is a very cohesive campus-based community. So if you do want that really campus-based 4-year experience, Loyola might be a really good opportunity for that. We are within Baltimore city limits, but we're about 10 minutes north of that inner harbor area you see in that central picture. So the immediate surroundings of campus honestly feel more suburban. But it's really accessible to get into downtown Baltimore, which opens up the doors for a lot of really fun stuff like internships and research opportunities and just fun things to do socially. Like I mentioned, we have just under 4,000 undergrads, which I think is a really sweet spot in terms of not being too small, but not being too large. We're kind of on the smaller end of that medium-sized university. But as you can see, classes are very small. Average class size is 20. Student to faculty ratio, if you prefer that, is 12:1. And all of our courses are professor taught. So no TAs or grad students teaching our classes. But conversely, we are large enough that we're Division I when it comes to sports. We participate in the Patriot League. Like I've mentioned, most of our students will live on campus all 4 years. Most of our students will also study abroad. Study abroad is something that all of our majors can do. Financial aid will follow you abroad. So definitely look into that. If you do end up coming to Loyola, most of our students go their junior year. So you have quite a bit of time to plan that out. And then you see, we do offer quite a few majors and minors. And typically you won't declare a major or minor with us until your sophomore year. So you have a lot of time to figure that out. Speak with your professors, go to their office hours, and then make a really well-informed decision your second year of college. So with us, you don't have to declare a major right when you apply. You don't have to apply to a specific school or area within the university. Once you're accepted into Loyola, you have access to everything academically. So you could double major in business and chemistry if you wanted, something completely as different as those two. It's really not difficult. It is feasible to double major or minor across those. I'm not going to say how easy or difficult it is, but you're certainly welcome to. You do have those options. And in terms of majors, we are liberal arts, so we offer quite a lot. Traditional things that you would expect or hope for, like very strong pre-health programs, pre-law programs. We have a business school, so marketing, finance, business management. But also we offer majors that you might not expect a small school like us to offer. We offer engineering, which is not always the case with a liberal arts school as small as we are, with 4 distinct pathways. We have speech, language, and hearing pathology. We have forensic studies, kind of that criminology, forensic science aspect, but a bit more liberal artsy, a bit more cross-disciplinary. So definitely, if you're interested in that liberal arts, campus-based experience, but you want access to a bigger city, and you might not know exactly what you want to focus on right away, but you want a lot of options, Loyola, Maryland could be a good option for you in your 4 years of undergrad. We're on the Common Application. Once you apply, you're automatically looked at for merit-based scholarships. And for us, I like to brag about this, they're pretty big. Our minimum merit award was $20,000, and that ranges all the way up to $30,000. And as you can see, most of our students receive some sort of aid from us. You can see kind of our average admitted student profile, and we're test optional, and we've been this way for a decade. So absolutely nothing changed this year in terms of reading applications and testing. And then the very last slide that I'll just highlight really quickly is our visit opportunities. We do a heck of a lot online, very similar to this. You can sign up for a one-on-one chat with me or someone else in admissions. We offer webinars for specific academic areas. So if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about pre-health specifically at Loyola, or communication, or the business school, check out those. We do have a virtual tour that you can click through at your own pace, but we also offer student guided tours. And then we are currently offering in-campus tours, which you can register on our site, loyola.edu/visit us. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you so much, Nathaniel. Our next presenter is from the University of Massachusetts, Amherst.
Hi there, welcome. Thank you for having me today. I am thrilled to talk to you about the University of Massachusetts Amherst, or as we say, UMass. Here's just some quick, fast facts and some pictures so you get a sense. We are located in Amherst, Massachusetts, which is consistently voted one of the best college towns in America. We are 2 hours from Boston and 3 hours from New York City. We're in a unique place that has 4 other small colleges right near us, which we are called the 5 College Consortium, where students can collaborate and take classes. So it's Amherst College, Hampshire College, Mount Holyoke, and Smith College. So they're all small liberal arts, but we're big. We're excited to be big, but it doesn't mean we don't have a great community. We do. We have some very purposeful ways that we make a big university feel smaller in different ways. So we do have 24,000 undergrads, which puts us at the largest public research university in New England, but that's considered kind of medium size in other parts of the country. We do have something for everybody. So we have over 110 degree programs available for you. Pretty much anything you could want from student organizations, from the Division I athletics program to club sports to recreation sports to a squirrel watching club and a health food eating club and lots of different quirky things in between there. So there is definitely something for everyone at UMass. One of the things we're pretty proud of, or that I like to talk about, is our food, because we are ranked #1 for the 5th year in a row. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, I think, in the Q&A section later. But those are some of the kind of highlights, and of course our top 26 ranking that we're also pretty proud of. And so you can just see some pictures. It's a beautiful New England town. UMass feels like its own little city because we have 24,000 undergrads and about 6,000 or 7,000 graduate students. So some hustle and bustle on campus, nestled in a beautiful area. Some more pictures for you to see the Amherst area. Our students get around the valley by free bus, so you can get to all those other colleges. You can get to Springfield and Boston in New York by a bus that stops right on our campus. So getting here is very easy. We have 2 airports that you can access Massachusetts, the Amherst area. One is Bradley in Connecticut, which is about 35 minutes away, and one is Boston, which is again 2 hours away, which you can take a bus right to. So one of the ways we make our community smaller is through our residential life experience, through RAPs, which are residential academic programs. So those are great. And then also by giving you an academic home base. So students at UMass do apply into a specific school and college, but you absolutely can change it if you change your mind. And so we break it down into these 10 schools and colleges. So again, we kind of have something for everybody, from our very competitive program for admission into nursing, computer science, engineering, and business. Those are our more selective majors and schools to get into. And then it's also interesting at UMass, our general majors, we have a very highly ranked linguistics program. I believe we're number 1 or 2 in the world right now. And that's a general major. So that, instead of saying selective, I like to say highly sought after. So nursing, engineering, comp sci, and business are highly sought after majors. So there's more students that are applying into those areas. We also have an honors college at UMass, which everyone is considered through the application process. So you do not have to apply separately. Same with our merit aid as well. And, you know, there's lots of virtual information. Each of these schools and colleges hosts their own career services. They also host their own research opportunities. Tons of students, the majority of our students, do research on campus. There's lots of undergraduate research funding available. There are lots of internships, co-op experiences that students are doing, as well as study abroad too. So lots of different ways for you to enhance your academic experience at UMass. And then here's some of our fast facts for our application process. We are also a common application school. So again, that's going to automatically put you in consideration for the honors college and for any merit aid as an out-of-state student. We are also test optional, but it was a relatively new experience for us this year. We just went test optional, and we will be for the next 3 years. So any student that was in high school during this pandemic, we are test optional. And only a small, very, very small percentage of our students were able to put testing in this year. So we anticipate that trend will continue. I know students appreciated not having to take the test, especially during these times. But here's some of our general averages. And to look at these are a recalculated and reweighted GPA. So we do that for each student. And for those highly sought after majors I mentioned, nursing, comp sci, engineering, and business, you want to be on the upper ranges of those averages. But I encourage everybody, you can always reach out to us. We are also, we do, again, merit-based aid for out-of-state students. And so we do up to $16,000. So that can kind of get your costs right down around what an in-state student would pay. And then, of course, our financial aid, about 70% of our students receive financial aid. And then here's lots of ways for you to contact us. And we're also hosting lots of virtual events. You can always reach out directly to me or to our general admission to be connected with someone, and we can have conversations with you. So good luck, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Our next presenter this evening is from the Catholic University of America.
Thanks so much. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Rita Murphy. I'm an admission counselor at Catholic University in Washington, D.C. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background of the history of Catholic U, we were founded in 1887 by Pope Leo XIII. We are the National University of the Catholic Church and the second oldest graduate research center here in the US. So we were actually started as a graduate research institution and then later introduced our undergrad. So there's that really unique experience for our undergraduate students to be surrounded by that base, foundation in higher research and graduate research on campus, but still be, experiencing that smaller undergrad experience. So just taking a look at Catholic by the numbers, we've got about 3,100 undergrad students, about 2,600 graduate and law students. 80% of our students self-identify as Catholic, and we are welcoming to students of all faith backgrounds, so you don't have to be Catholic to apply or attend. We'll get that question sometimes. We have 30% ethnic diversity on campus and 8% international students. We've got over 70 majors and 60 minors and certificates. We'll give you a quick look into the different schools that we offer in a couple slides, but we definitely have that smaller school feel with an average class size of about 19 to 21 students and student faculty ratio of 10:1. So you're really going to get that personalized attention in the classroom from your professors, and that really helps students feel welcomed and seen on campus pretty much from the first day they step onto campus. So we are in DC itself. We're in the neighborhood of Brookland, and we are about 3.5 miles away from the National Mall. So that's where you find all the government buildings, the monuments, the Smithsonian museums, the National Mall. That's all down there. So we're just a little ways up the road. But so while we are in the city itself, we still have that traditional campus feel with about 176 acres of green space. So you really get the best of both worlds there with that residential campus feel, but the city right at your fingertips. And we've got students coming from all 50 states and 46 different countries. So you're really going to be meeting people from all over. So again, we are in DC itself. So with that comes the benefits of having that art, culture, music, access to museums, internships, job opportunities, shadowing, anything like that we have downtown. Some sports teams that have been on the rise the past couple years. That's been exciting for students to be a part of, as well as immediate metro access. So on the next slide, you can see on the left here, that's the train system within DC. We've got our own metro stop, the Brookland CUA stop on the red line. So you can get right downtown or anywhere in the DMV area that you need to go. So that really helps facilitate some internships and things that students like to include in their undergrad experience. You can see some examples of some internships on the right here. And so this, really accessible system helps make those possible. You don't need a car or anything like that to get around and explore the city that you're choosing to go to school in. So looking at the advising on campus, so we really pride ourselves in our advising from the Career and Academic Success Office. You'll receive an advisor for all 4 years. The same one will stick with you all 4 years, and they're cross-trained in both academic and career advising. So they'll help you choose your major and your classes, plan study abroad, different things like that. But they'll also get to know your career interests, post-grad goals, and they can help point you in the direction of those internships or job opportunities that it can be a little daunting to sort of, figure out where to go. There are so many opportunities to take a part of, but again, they're just there to help point you in the right direction. So this is a look at our 9 undergrad schools of study. School of Arts and Sciences, the Bush School of Business, and the School of Engineering all have an exploratory option. They have so many options within those schools that if you have a general interest in that school, you can enter as an exploratory major within that specific school. So you can get started on those intro classes and be on track for a business or engineering major specifically, but you just don't have to declare that major until sophomore year. We also have the School of Architecture and Planning and the School of Nursing, which have become very popular. The School of Nursing is hopefully growing in the next few years. We're building a new building on campus for that program, so that's very exciting, as well as the Rome School of Music, Drama, and Art. And you don't have to be a part of that school to get involved in any of the musicals or music groups or anything like that. Every student takes part in what's called first year experience. So it's the same group of 18 students, your freshman year, the same group of 18 students that you'll learn with in 4 different classes. And this is just a transitional opportunity for students to get used to campus life, academic life, as well as DC itself. So they get a lot of mentorship from their professors and their peers through this program, and they'll get started on those core curriculum classes. We do have a university honors program. About 10% of our students are involved in that. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. We've got study abroad. One of our big programs is Catholic University in Rome. So you can go abroad with Catholic University, all of our professors and faculty, but still, be under Catholic University. We've got a lot going on campus too. So that's definitely not the type of campus you have to leave to get involved, even though we do have a lot going on in DC. We have D3 athletics, and we use the Common Application, and we're actually a test blind institution. So we were test optional, now we're test blind, and we don't have an application fee. So just kind of looking ahead, we have a lot of visit opportunities and a lot of virtual opportunities going on as well. So you can feel free to sign up on our website. I'll send some info in the chat a little bit later, but thanks so much.
Thank you, Rita. Our next presenter is Tara from Muhlenberg College.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Muhlenberg. I'm delighted you are here to hear about us for the first time or be reminded about our Muhlenberg community. My name is Tara, and this here is an aerial view of part of our campus. We are in a suburban setting, 20 minutes to the totally awesome Lehigh Valley Airport. We are 10 minutes to downtown Allentown, 1 hour to Philadelphia, and 2 hours to New York City. Fun fact, Allentown, Pennsylvania is the third largest and the fastest growing city in Pennsylvania. Our location in the Lehigh Valley lends itself to opportunities for our students to learn, to grow, to do outside of the classroom. This could be shadowing or doing research experience within the Lehigh Valley Health Network, working or cheering at a minor league hockey game or a minor league baseball game, my favorite, going to an amusement park, symphony hall, museums, hiking, rock climbing, and of course, shopping and restaurants. This is another aerial view of part of our campus, not pictured here. Very soon, we're going to break ground on our newest building, which is set to be open fall of 2022. It's going to be a very green space, of course, and it will house faculty offices, classrooms, a studio space for our innovation and entrepreneurship program, our Institute for Public Opinion, our Office for Community Engagement, and art studio spaces. We are at Muhlenberg, a traditional liberal arts college. This exploratory curriculum often leads to another major or minor for students, sometimes in a pre-professional field of study or the pursuit of an academic partnership. Popular majors for first-year students, as identified on their Common App, is business, theater, biology, psychology, and my absolute favorite is undecided. Yes, we have public health. Growing in popularity among first-year applicants also includes neuroscience and computer science. And our students for decades have been able to minor in sustainability studies if they wanted to. Now they can choose to major in it, our newest major. The flexibility for our students to pursue their interests with the support of their advisors and their professors certainly leads to an enriching experience. While these are some fast facts you see here on the screen, at Muhlenberg, our students are individuals who come together to form a community. Our students are supportive of one another. They are creative, they are curious, they are resilient, they are kind. We are recognized in the rankings for best value, best food. You heard that once already today. Best theater. We've earned gold for being green, an A+ grade from 538 pollster ranking, and our students have been honored for their engagement in the community. We are a religiously diverse institution. About 1/3 of our students identify as Jewish, 1/3 identifies Roman Catholic. You can see here on this slide that about 30% of our students choose to double major. Typically nearly 60% of our students study away at least one time before they graduate. Our athletes compete in the Division III Centennial Conference. We have won more than 33 conference championships since 2000. We're the Mules of Muhlenberg, and we do academics, athletics, and the arts exceptionally well. Our students are engaged in their work, active in their community, supportive of each other. They're intellectually curious, they are fun, they are smart, they are kind, they are good citizens. On campus, there's something to do and ways to engage every day of the week. That could be programming from the Activities Council, Multicultural Office, Greek Life, intramural sports, affinity groups, knitting club, faith-based clubs, theater and dance performances, so much going on. Our faculty serve as scholars and mentors as well. Our faculty are incredibly committed to our students' growth and development as an academic, yes, and also as a community member. The level of care that they demonstrate for our students is incredible. They'll often sit in the front row and cheer students on in an a cappella performance or on the field. They'll invite students for coffee. They'll do individual research projects with students. and they'll continue to mentor students well beyond their time on campus together. Our graduates go on to become change makers, teachers, scientists, actors, business owners, coaches, journalists, attorneys, physicians, leaders in their chosen field, and productive members of their community and their workplace. On campus, like on the slide you see here, Muhlenberg's famous red doors. This is on all of our buildings. It's a testament to our Lutheran roots and a sign of welcome. For those of you watching this, planning really far ahead, this slide shows you what you need to do to complete an application to Muhlenberg. Notably too, we've been test score optional for over 20 years and will continue to do so. All applicants are considered for merit, scholarship money, and honors consideration. Applicants can also audition or have a portfolio reviewed for a talent scholarship in the arts like theater, dance, film, music, or art. We review applications holistically, taking into account all parts of a student's application, including demonstrated interest. When we read applications, our applicants present with a rigorous curriculum like honors or AP if your school offers it. Our applicants use their application to speak to their passions, their interests, their talents, all of which demonstrate how they'll be a good fit with the Muhlenberg community. I invite you to read alumni profiles and student profiles at muhlenberg.edu/news. And if you're pulling up your Instagram to follow us now, I suggest you check out Dogs of Muhlenberg for some feel-good dog posts. Since 1848, we've been an institution of higher learning committed to our students' intellectual and personal growth. We look forward to meeting you and welcoming you to campus. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing those dogs. Next, we'll go a little farther west from Pennsylvania all the way out to Oregon and hear from Reed College.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for that. And thank you everybody for joining us today. It's really nice to connect and chat with you. So yes, I'm representing Reed College, representing the West Coast. My name is Grant Sewell, and I'm here to tell you a little bit more about Reed. I hope some of these fun facts that I'm sharing on the screen will help to fill in some of those pieces as well. But Reed is a small private liberal arts college. We are a community of about 1,500 students. And being a smaller community, we have small classes. So on average, it's about 15 students would be in a class with you. And at Reed, we really lean into this idea of conference collaborative-based discussion classrooms. So students really get to be in the driver's seat, for their time in the classroom and their time at Reed. So it's collaborative, it's discussion-based, it's very engaging. And at Reed, all of our classes are taught by our full faculty. So we don't have any adjuncts or TAs. And as part of your time here at Reed, we actually don't require students to declare a major when they get here. So students have some freedom to, be exploratory kind of under the liberal arts backdrop. So all of our students at Reed, when they come, will take a required first-year humanities sequence called Humanities 110, which allows students to really kind of explore the diversity of the humanistic experience. And I share that just to kind of frame that really provides the foundation for your academics at Reed and really kind of get you exposed to some of that kind of discussion-based learning that we really hope you'll get to participate in. Students also get the opportunity to study abroad. We have over 50 different study abroad partners kind of throughout the United States and then abroad as well. So students can kind of maintain their costs, their financial aid, and kind of participate in those. I should also mention that in our classrooms, Reed has the #1 rank from Princeton Review for best classroom experience. And part of students' expectations in classroom preparation will lead them to complete a senior thesis, which I know might seem a little far out now, but essentially it's an opportunity for every student to focus on something that they're really excited about, that they're really passionate about, and really get to explore that during their senior year. That could be something, experiential, such as like maybe putting on a senior play or writing maybe something more kind of science and research based or something somewhere in between. Outside of the classroom, we really believe in a well-rounded student that focuses on, kind of mind, body, and soul. And to do that, we really try to create inclusion on campus. And what I mean by that is we don't have any exclusive clubs or groups. So at Reed, we have kind of full open community participation. So if there's an activity you want to be involved in, whether it's joining our Delicious Cheese Club, which is as delicious as it sounds, if you like cheese, or joining our Air Force, which is our Aerial Acrobatics Club. If you wanted to learn how to walk on a tightrope, you can do that. In addition to, you can see a lot of the other kind of fun facts on this slide that represent Reed pretty well. We also are an institution that's known for a lot of fun traditions. One of those that I'd like to share a little bit more about is our Paideia Week. So Paideia, it kind of has its origin in the Greek. It means education in its most foundational sense. But during Paideia Week, this is a non-academic week where anyone in the Reed community can teach on any subject they like. Doesn't matter what it is. I like to share that because I think it really kind of leans into the idea of Reed being a space where people love learning and love kind of learning for the sake of learning. So it really kind of helps to kind of frame your experience during that time. We have a lot of different traditions like that throughout the year to kind of help build campus community and kind of help everyone kind of find a strong place here. Reed is a residential campus community. We have about 80% of our student body living on campus, and we see students who come from all 50 states and internationally abroad as well. We also only have about 6 or 7% of our student body come from our home state of Oregon. So, we see a lot of students that are coming from a variety of different settings and kind of finding a comfortable space here at Reed. Outside of that, the other piece that I like to share a little bit about is something that's a little bit unique to Reed. Just, sometimes students are kind of curious about a differentiating factor. A fun fact, would be that we have more trees than people on campus, just so you can kind of get that visual, in your head. But another piece would be how we kind of operate our community. And that's through something called the honor principle. And the honor principle, it's not a code, it's not written down, but it's essentially a way that we try to conduct ourselves and we try to look out for one another when we're on campus. So it's a very much a student-driven kind of idea that there's a group called the Honor Council. It's a group of honorable students that kind of work to interpret the honor principle for us if we ever need to do that. On the admission and financial aid side, Reed has a free application. You can apply with the Common or the Coalition application. We do a holistic application review. So we will review all of the materials that you submit to us. We are also test blind. I know one of the other institutions shared that they are as well, but we won't, look at, factor in, or kind of consider those scores, kind of during the time of the pandemic and moving forward as well. So we do consider everything that you submit to us to make an admissions decision and review. For financial aid, Reed does need-based financial aid. So we'll look at, a couple of documents, your FAFSA and your CSS profile, to put together a full package for you. So I wouldn't let cost be a prohibiting factor as you're thinking about this. But I would encourage you to get in touch with us, with any questions you have. You can email admission@reed.edu. And I would look forward to answering any questions that you have. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Grant. At this point, I would love for all of our presenters to turn their cameras and their microphones back on. You participants get a bonus. I'm going to ask everyone if they would share one piece of advice that they would give to a student who is embarking on this college search journey. And we're going to go in the same order in which our presenters presented. So Nathaniel, you are up first.
Sure. So my biggest piece of advice during the college search is visit the schools that you're interested in applying to. And obviously currently that has its own challenges. So my current piece of advice is take advantage of everything that has now had to shift online. Most schools are offering virtual tours. Some of these are ones that you can click through yourself. We also have tours currently being led by our student tour guides virtually. So take advantage of that to actually see the schools, but take advantage of everything else that's had to shift online just to get in touch with faculty members and admissions folks as well.
Excellent. Sarah.
Hi there. My bit of advice is twofold: to be open-minded as you go through this process, especially if you're just beginning this process, because there are 5 very different colleges here tonight, and all of them might work for you for a variety of reasons. And so listen to your heart and definitely be open-minded. And then my other bit of advice is get organized, get a little spreadsheet, and that's it.
Rita.
To go right along with the second half of Sarah's advice, I always tell students to, make little notes or take note of when you take those visits or you do a virtual session like this, write down the things that stood out to you. A lot of us shared, how we recalculate GPAs or how we look at test scores or don't look at test scores, little things like that. But even just how you may have felt on campus, it can be helpful, 6 months later, 3 months later, for you to put yourself back to where you were when you visited and really figure out, what places you felt at home at.
Tara.
Having the courage to identify what's important for you in your post-secondary options and having the freedom to choose these schools that you may never have heard of before. So having that courage is going to make this journey a growth moment rather than a transactional moment for you. So I would encourage you to have the courage to dig deep and understand what's important for you and focus on that, and also hug your people. It's hard for them too.
Oh my gosh, hugging. Does everybody remember hugging? Grant, take us home.
No, I think my colleagues all gave a lot of great advice. I would like to say, I think the virtual space kind of offers an opportunity to maybe visit or consider schools that you might not have been able to before. So I would say definitely take advantage of all the, great programming that a lot of these schools are doing, these types of fairs. And I would say my other piece would be that whenever possible, try and connect with a student, especially someone who maybe went through the college search process maybe last year and who can maybe kind of talk about the factors that spoke to them when they kind of chose that institution. I think that could be a powerful thing to consider as well. Thank you.
Excellent advice, all. And I know that the students really benefited from the information that you shared. And again, I just want to kind of wrap this up by reminding that once our students click out of their session, there will be a quick survey for them to complete. So if you could do that, that would be great. That will help us improve these programs for future students. Do sign up for more sessions. There are other options. And also later this spring, there will be even more options. So we hope to see you then. And then if you do want to go back and review this presentation or any of our presentations, you can simply go to strivescan.com/Carolinas and find the information you need. So again, on behalf of all of our presenters and on behalf of CACRAO, we are glad you joined us this evening and have a great night.
Thanks so much.